Well, if I'm going to be here when we win, I got to front up when we lose, and there isn't much good to say about that, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to counter some of the lazy narratives that are immediately going to follow this game, and we're going on during the game. As usual, there's a rush to instant judgment, narrative judgment on basically everything that happens in a game. All I was hearing in the first half is, oh, the 49ers miss Nick Bosa. Well, of course they miss Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa's an all-pro player, right? To say otherwise would be facile, obviously. But Nick Bosa is not responsible for the team not being able to block, for the team turning the ball over, for the team being shit on special teams for the 15th year in a row. These are things that have followed this team for as long as I've been, as long as I've been following them. And certainly under Kyle Shanahan, things that have bitten us in the arse time and time again. We don't invest in the offensive line, so the offensive line gives up sacks, the offensive line gives up pressure, allows Purdy to get strip sacked. Jake Brendel is probably the worst centre in the NFL. You can quote all, and this is more of a thesis on some of the things that annoy me in sports, but you can quote all the advanced stats at me you want. At the end of the day, I used to coach offensive line. Offensive line play is about blocking the guy in front of you, and Jake Brendel just doesn't do it in crunch time. The pocket was really clean today, and on the occasions it was, we moved the ball okay. I'm seeing a lot about how great Jacksonville's defense is. I think we put up something like 350 yards on them, and we probably left another 100 on the field in drops. That's another thing. I think there were 8 drops in all. What is wrong with Christian McCaffrey? I have no idea. We had 4 drops and a fumble. Luke Farrell showed why he's a blocking tight end. He fumbled early on, and that seemed to change the whole momentum of the game because we gave up a touchdown immediately after that. Jason Pinnock is a horrible safety, and I don't know what on earth he was trying to do tackling Travis Etienne. He just let him run straight past him. There's so many things that people will say. I'm seeing a lot of criticism of Brock Purdy. I'm seeing criticism of the defense. I wasn't too impressed with the defense of the first half, but to be fair to Robert Saleh, I think he found a way to make it work, and it seems pretty clear to me the game plan was to contain Trevor Lawrence, who ultimately only scored 160 yards, I think. Okay, he might have more by the time I finish recording this because I'm actually jumping in before the end of the game. But, they had 17 points off turnovers. You can't win a game when you're 4-0 in the turnover battle. You just can't. I don't care who you are or who you're playing. You can't win games when you make as many special teams miscues as we do. You allow a punt, kick return, big kick return before the half, a big return for a touchdown. These are basic things. This has nothing to do with Nick Bosa. This has nothing to do with Brock Purdy. These are basic things that need to be done by the bottom third of the roster. And the fact is, we didn't do them. We didn't do them well enough. We never looked like doing them well enough. The fact we were even in the game in the fourth quarter is a testament to how Salah, to his credit, did sort of adjust to what was happening and tried to save the game. I can't knock that. I thought he did quite well. Upton Stout had a good game. D. Winters was good again. These guys are good players. It's just they were let down today. They were let down by other players who should know better. Jennings drops a touchdown. McCaffrey drops tons of passes. Purdy had a poor game. His interception was the interception he was actually responsible for, where he threw the ball into the middle of the field, is what I'm going to now term a Garoppolo throw, and I'm going to trademark that. It's a term for when a 49ers quarterback inexplicably throws the ball over the middle of the field to a linebacker that he somehow hasn't seen. It was like having Jimmy back today. There was a lot of high passes. I don't personally think Purdy was healthy, but he did his best to get us back in the game. We had one good drive at the end, the Jake Tonks TD. That was a nice drive and a good call at the end. And then we just shat it away. Again, I'm trying not to be seething angry, but I am. It's just a really poor performance against a team that, frankly, I don't think were very good. I think we got in our own way and lost to them. We have a couple of these games this season. Just hope we don't make a habit of it, because that's a big loss, especially with the Rams winning later on. Short week, I suppose. Next game's Thursday, so we've a little time to sort of turn it around. We play the Rams on Thursday, so we need to get some shit done. Basically, there's no turning back. We've just got to take a deep breath, assess the injuries because Ricky Pearsall came off injured. Jennings has another injury to add to the list. Blah blah blah, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, pretty upset with that one. But not for the reasons that most people are putting out in the fucking vacuous hot takes on Twitter, just because we were poor in every facet of the game. We got out-coached, we were bad on special teams. Defense probably about even in the end. I think we came back quite well. And offense, we just didn't produce what we're capable of. Once again in the red zone, we have no idea what to do. Run McCaffrey into a brick wall, throw a contested pass, come up with some bullshit on third down, and then kick a field goal. That seems to be the entirety of our red zone game plan, and we paid for it today. Came away with 2 field goals in red zone situations where we could have won, could have had touchdowns, would have turned the entire game. We had a bizarre play calling sequence early in the second half where it was third down and 3. We called a run. We hadn't been able to run the ball all day. We got nowhere. So suddenly you're 4th and 3, trying to make a pass work against a team that, for all I don't think they were very good, was cutting off a lot of short passes. And then we finally found some rhythm late on, but it was just too late. Well, I'm going to take a deep breath and just say we'll move on to Thursday. We've got to turn it around. We can't play like that again. The one thing that frustrates me about the 49ers is when things go badly, they go really badly. We were absolutely shocking today in almost every facet of the game. We seem to build mistakes on mistakes, and it's just infuriating, honestly. It was an infuriating watch, and I'm glad it's over. So I'll see you guys again on Thursday. And as always, go Niners, but please go somewhere else.